So Russell Simmons is going on the offensive, I guess, or the defensive, fighting back against allegations. Even as new allegations come out, the NYPD just announced that the Def Jam co-founder is the subject of a sweeping investigation, that there are at least 7 claims of sexual misconduct, some of them actually alleged rapes.
Wow. Very serious stuff in this one.
Yeah, and they are looking into all of them. Now, as those allegations come out, Russell Simmons has taken a couple of extraordinary steps that we haven't seen other accused celebrities in this environment, that they haven't handled it this way. He is now launched a campaign, which we're going to get into in a little bit, a campaign on social media. But he's also
his own hashtag he's put forth,
but he's also taking the extraordinary step of taking a polygraph. And this is an image of Russell as he's hooked up to the machine. Now, he says, his people tell us that he was in the testing for several hours, and he was only answering questions related to one of his accusers, the very first one, which was the model, Kerry Clausen Kaligi. So he answered several questions. His people say that he passed with flying colors. He has not released the results of the polygraph yet. And the reason he hasn't released it yet, he says, is he's going to actually sit down, hook himself up to the machine, and answer questions related to all of his accusers. Because
these are piling up, though, Charles. He's going to have to take a lot of tests, and the reason they said they want to show all at one time that he's innocent on all of these, instead of having to do one at a time and address them.
Now, he claims, look, the thing about the polygraph, we obviously have to say it's not admissible in court. And by the way, he's not facing any criminal charges yet. But a polygraph would not be admissible in court. But it seems like he's just trying to win back some sort of
public opinion.
But what's interesting is that he conducts it. It's not videotaped. We haven't seen it yet. It's by people he hired to administer the polygraph test, and we're taking their word for it, his attorney's word for it, that he passed with flying colors. I mean, what are we supposed to take from that? You know, one of two things. Either he's right and he did pass a polygraph, which only means that he didn't consider it rape at the time it was happening. But if you read the model...
Jason, that's the reason why it's not admissible in court, right? I mean, obviously he can...
It's not admissible in court because they are notoriously difficult to establish truth, polygraph tests. They're not scientifically approved for use in court because they're not reliable enough for use in court.
Right. So, but I think you're right, Ben. He's trying to win back in the court of public opinion.
I mean, where his brand will be mostly affected is by people's perception of Russell Simmons. You know, legally, if something happens with Russell Simmons, the courts will figure it out. But what he doesn't want this to be on him clearly.
Well, we spoke to 2 of his attorneys. He has a whole team of attorneys now working on this. We spoke to 2 of them about why he's taking this step. And, you know, because initially, it's been several weeks since the first claims came out. And initially, he seemed more apologetic. Why he's changed his tone is what we asked 2 of his attorneys.
One of the things that's happening to Mr. Simmons right now is he's being tried in the court of public opinion. We advise him that we can get the truth out without him taking a polygraph test or without subjecting him to a polygraph test. But he's insisted, even against the advice of counsel, that he be subjected to a polygraph test because he wants people to know that he is telling the truth when he says that he has never committed rape or sexual assault. What he wants to do is get to the truth, and so he invites anyone to do the same, anyone who has accusations against him to do the same, because he knows what his truth is, and he wants to stand by his truth.
Well, I will say this. Russell Simmons has now put the onus on him. He's told us that he intends to take the polygraph for all of these accusers, and he's going to release the results. If he doesn't take all the tests, if he doesn't release the results, that kind of speaks for itself.
Right, but he's got to take those tests in a more transparent way, right? You can't go behind closed doors, take a test, and then release the results to the public and say, yo, look, I passed. It's got to be...
What he needs to do is release the video unedited.
Absolutely.
Of himself taking the test. And again, that's only for public opinion.
Right.
It won't matter in court.
But one thing that should be pointed out is even Kerry-Ann Kaligi's case, he says that he did not force himself on her. But recall, she, by his own admission and by Brett Ratner's statement, was 17 at the time of that encounter. So I'm not sure that the issue of force is necessarily the relevant inquiry.
It's going to be the issue with her, right?
But they were in New York, though.
They were, yeah, I believe it was in New York.
I thought they were in L.A. Now, I don't know what the age of consent in New York is. I mean, I guess it's important where they were, because if it's a 17, it's 17.
This is Scott Tillman in Conyers, Georgia. I think this is all about damage control for Russell Simmons, and if he really wants to do a good job of damage control, he should have a third party do a polygraph for him, and not his own people.
Yeah, well, I think they're saying that it is a third party that they hired.
Right.
But again, if you're not transparent with the video of it, that makes it difficult to back up.